In this movie, I introduced the class selector. The class attribute is available on nearly every HTML tag. For example, here I have a class defining this paragraph content right here, red paragraph. There's another one here for this blue paragraph, class equals blue. The class selector, when you define it, is always defined here in the head section with a period or a dot before the class name. Let's go ahead and look at the head section here. You'll notice that here are my class rule definitions. .red, color red. .blue, color blue. It's very important that you include the dot when naming your class selectors. But you can also set a class selector only on specific elements that have that class. Do this by placing the type selector before the period in the class selector without any spaces. For example, here, div1.bordered, the border is going to be a 2-pixel solid red line. Notice that with the class selector, you can set multiple styles to the same element or tag in a document. This is in contrast to the tag selector. For example, you might want to have certain sections of your text called out in different colors from the rest of the text in the document. Here I have blue paragraphs, black paragraphs, and red paragraphs. And I'm doing this with class selectors. For example, this paragraph, I'm setting its class style to blue. And I've defined the blue class up here so that the color is blue. And here in the red paragraph, this class is set to red. And I've defined that red class to equal the color red. Now my black paragraph right here is just a text set off with a simple paragraph tag, so the default color here in the browser is black. So when you want to call the various classes, you would use the class attribute within the paragraph tag. Any tag that did not have a class attribute would then be given the default style for that tag. Again, the default style for the paragraph tag is text in black. Here's another example of the class selector in action. This paragraph has a blue background. This paragraph is the default normal style with no colored background. If we look at the tags here, notice that this blue paragraph has a class attribute right there called blue. And if we move up here to the head section, we can see the definition of the blue paragraph right here, background color. That's a blue color right there. Could also set that to the red style. Then the background color will be that. I'm not sure what color that is, but let's go ahead and just change this to red. And that way it's a little bit easier to read. And let's go here and let's reset the class from blue to red. Looks like I have a problem there. There we go. There's the red background. And again, because this paragraph right here doesn't have any style attached to it, it's going to default to the normal style, or what's also referred to as the default style for the browser. Here's another example. Let's replace the paragraph here in my style definition with the body dot blue. This will add this class definition to the body tag, and then down here I can adjust my body tag and give it the style definition class equals blue in quotation marks like that, just as I did down here for the paragraph tag. Now notice the entire page goes blue because everything here is controlled by that body tag. Now if you want to use a single class across multiple HTML documents, simply remove the HTML tag element from the beginning of the style. So let's now replace this body.blue and substitute that with just blue. The page still goes blue because I've defined my body tag here, class blue. Let's remove that. Page goes back to the default. Now I can take this paragraph text here and inside the paragraph opening paragraph tag add an attribute class equals blue in quotation marks like so. And now that paragraph background is styled to blue. So in this way I can apply this style to as many different elements as I want by removing the tag in front of the style definition here in the head section of the HTML document. And here's a third example. This H2 content is also blue, actually not a blue background, but a blue color. Let's change that to color, like so. And the reason for that is I've set the class of the H2 tag here to blue, just this one H2 tag, however. And notice that my blue definition here is color equals blue. If I add another H2 tag down here, taking off the blue class, let's go ahead and finish that tag there. Here is another H2 text block. Notice that it's not blue because I haven't set its class to be blue, which defines that color of the text to be blue. More about the class selector and setting up and applying classes a bit later in the tutorial. Let's now move on to the next movie, and let me introduce you to the ID selector.